What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. It's going to be a reading on gift. A gift coming your way, or possibly a gift that you have already. As always, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Get yourself some comfortable, nice coffee at my hand, herbal tea, even a glass of water. Enjoy. Pile number 1s. Sorry for any background noise. What do you see? What do you feel? So I know that's very abstract, but I was kind of getting, I put these little feet in there because I was kind of getting like chameleon vibes. Chameleon. So my pile number 1s. A gift that's coming your, no, I think that sounds more to me like a gift that you have or that you embrace or need to embrace. You have the ability to blend in. You have the ability to, blend into your environment, possibly blend in with other people. Don't know, I think that's it, part number 1s. It doesn't happen all the time, but I think there's occasions where the readers are just super short and to the point. This is one of them. I feel like there's something funky going on here with like possibly star systems, something kind of almost scientific. Ooh. But this whole vibe really is something kind of like outer worldly. I get that vibe. It could possibly be how the information's coming through too, from spirit. It might be some of my kind of starseed people out there, or people who relate to aliens and star systems. But yeah, and possibly even the star system, you know, like if we was to take it sci-fi, there would be like almost the shapeshifters, the Mystiques in X-Men, the people who can literally transform and disguise themselves. A little bit of confirmation there outside. But yeah, pile number 1s, I'm not gonna milk this one. I think you got your information there. It might be worth just pausing on it. See if you get anything from here. There possibly even could be like letters. I'm getting M and N. That might be your name. Or C. There might be important letters in your name. W. Possibly O as well. Just sit on the energy there. I think there's a little bit of code in there as well. So part number 1s, if you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website. Check out the videos on there. They're for you. and to help you along your journey. Money well spent. Get in quickly before prices go up, because they always do go up. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Pearl number 2 is a gift. I just opened this pen up today. There's something about using a fresh pen which is just, dare I say, orgasmic. Now, pearl number 2's, one thing that's coming through here is that if this energy is organic. I was not focused to draw this shape perfectly circular. It's just kind of flowing through me, and I think there's reason for that, because it reminds me more of like, you know, the difference between, I don't know why this is coming to me, maybe this is related to your reading, part number 2's, but you know how crop circles are almost like laser printed, but then how a mole might dig into the ground, its tunnel is maybe more like this. There's a shape to it, but it's a little bit more irregular. It's not trying to be perfect. There's something like that going on here in the energy. Like even this little point here, it's like, it's because it's not meant to be a, does that make sense? So that's making me kind of sit on the energy in a way which is like, maybe that could partially like be your gift, is you're able to be fluid, for example, like you're able to kind of almost do what I did there, where I was battling with my logical mind. My logical mind was wanting to make this perfect circle, and then I had to let go of that. You know, you got to remember that's kind of a gift, not just in creativity, but in life in general. You know, there's times in life where I don't know why Spirit's giving me this, but like even like in friendship, you know, like when a friend may say something which you don't agree with, and as humans we have the tendency to try and convince people of our opinions, and sometimes there's a beauty in just going, you know what, that's that person's opinion, and that makes them them anyway. You're able to leave it there. You get some people who are too stubborn, too rigid is maybe the word, where it's almost like, reminds me of like OCD. It's like, it's almost like the OCD that God placed, or you could possibly even argue the devil placed upon you, but let's just say God to make it lighter. So God placed you with this challenge of OCD. And let's say it's the OCD where if you had like 2 pens, one's like that, and you have to make it straight. You know, like it's a good example here. It's like, that was like that, but you're the type of person who has to have it like that. And it's like, you've been able to overcome that, what's it? that challenge. So you feel that challenge, but you're able to overcome it. And then there's your beauty. So for the average Joe, they spend the rest of their lives panicking about that. And then you come along and you're able to go like that. And then you're able to go like that. Then you're able to go like fuck the pens too. Welcome to Iffy Pause. That's why you like this channel. So I don't really know how to put that into words. Part number 2. But you kind of, if you get it, you get it, you know. It's like, you could even simplify this gift as in you're able to overcome challenges quite easily. You know, like the cards that you're dealt, it kind of reminds me of the energy. It's like no matter what cards you're dealt, you're able to overcome it. You've got a resilience maybe to you, but it's like almost like you're able to outsmart your own flaws. This is interesting. Like Spirit's giving me this analogy of like 5 people were dropped off in a desert, and everyone gets a liter of water, but for whatever messed up reason you get only half a liter of water. Like Spirit is kind of giving you that nod to say, yeah, you're able to innovate with that half a liter of water, you know. So if it's you make a certain technique where you're able to save that water, or if it purely just makes you more determined to find that water source quicker than everyone else because you don't have the same I don't know, privilege is maybe the wrong word, but the same, I'm almost getting safety net. Maybe in your life you might have found that you didn't have much of a safety net in certain areas. And God's kind of showing you that that's the way, that's how you're flourishing, is by not having that safety net. You're flourishing. You're able to innovate and figure things out. So part number 2's, I feel like there's definitely code in this reading here. Like it's reminding me slightly of an acorn. So that might be something that's what's the word? A confirmation for you. It reminds me of an acorn on its side. You might be attracted to the oak tree, or just the acorns in themselves. That might mean something for you. This does also remind me a little bit of like a trampoline. For some reason, like from a bird's eye view, from looking above. So that kind of reminds me a little bit of that analogy I just gave of the safety net. You know, like if someone was to do one of those like almost those gymnastic things, you know, they're almost a trend at the moment, where you like, you know, you jump into like a ball of foam, not a ball, like a pool of foam, or there's trampolines, and like trampoline basketballs becoming more like popular, at least on social media it is. This reminds me of some form of trampoline safety net, if that makes sense, from looking above. I'm not sure if you're seeing that part too, but it's kind of a vibe I'm getting. And yeah, it's quite clearly something quite sci-fi about the reading too. I think that's for all the readings today. So remember to pause on it and see if you can find any other codes just in this illustration. I'm really I really like it actually. It's something that's appealing to me. Um, there's two nodes here which weren't coincidence. It reminds me a little bit of like the lips of a fish. So if you look at it in that way, I can see like the mouth. That's almost like an eye there, turns into an eye. And that eye's looking somewhere. You might be Pisces. Well, that might just be something for you. Yeah, but do pause this and see if you can find anything else. Pile number twos. For now, I think that's your reading finished. Quite a quick one today. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. Check out the videos. You're mad not to check out the videos if you haven't already. They're there to help you, especially if you're connected to this information. If you feel like your soul family, soul group here, those videos are really here to help you prosper and be better in life. So check those out. Otherwise, pile number twos, I'll see you in the next reading. Thank you for being here. Take care. Okay, finally, pile number threes. What we got for you today? Just sitting on the energy. There was a word that came through. Which was bowl. B-O-W-L. Now that could be like to bowl. Like a bowling alley. Or that could be a bowl. To eat out of, or to contain something. A little bit of confirmation there. Little bell outside. And a child. Okay, there's something nice about this energy. Reminds me a little bit of a world. But there's 2 pointers. One pointer that I definitely want to make. So the first pointer was the world. The second pointer was overwhelm. Overwhelm. Spirit is picking out that word. Because I'm getting overwhelmed. Overwhelm, overwhelmed. I'm trying to feel free to kind of channel with me pile number threes, but there's a link here between overwhelmed and overwhelm. You might want to Google what whelm means by itself, if that comes up in the dictionary. The definition of whelm. Because I'm also getting, like, from the word whelm, I'm getting almost like hug. like to be hugged. But then to be overwhelmed is almost to be overhugged. Now that's interesting because when I think of the word overwhelm, it feels like it's too much. Something's too much. But it's normally like related to anxiety. And here, I don't know why Spirit is giving me like the word whelm actually means to be hugged, almost to be like loved. And to be overwhelmed is to be overloved. So like to trace that back to the anxiety, this might be that you might be feeling anxious right now. Pile number 3's Spirit is trying to make you think about maybe what you are over loving, which is creating that anxiety. This is super deep. Spirit just amazes me sometimes. Because, as much logical research I could do on a computer or on my phone or in a book, I could just never pluck this out, This comes from a different place. There's no book on psychology that would tell me what I'm telling you now. But Spirit is saying that feeling of anxiety that you might have now or that you might have in the future. And I know this is a reading on your gift. This might be your gift of being able to recognize this, is that the anxiety is coming from an over-loving of something. So a good example of this might be like love, like romance. Let's say if you're dating someone and then that person is not responding to you, for example, you really like them, and then you start feeling anxious because they're not messaging you. When you can kind of trace it back, it's like you're going to recognize that the reason why you're feeling anxious, I know that if you listen to any spiritual teacher or guru, they're probably going to tell you it comes to self-love. And I think that has some truth to it, but Spirit is saying we can go deeper and more it's funny, the word that came into my mind was like avant-garde, which was like taking a different route, being a bit out there. Like the avant-garde perspective is actually that you've applied too much love to them, you've overloved them, and that's why it's affecting you so much. And this is really connected to, if you haven't seen it already, there's I think quite a few videos now that I've released on. You definitely want to see Pal 3's. You definitely want to watch my video on kind hearts, and I've got another video on. You want to be watching there's quite a few, to be honest, that I could recommend. The kind hearts one is definitely one, and you also want to pay attention to the one called Love and Judgment, I think I called it. You might also want to check out the one called New You. You'll recognize it because there's two heads looking at each other. But Spirit is saying, like, there's some souls out there and they can really work on the self-love aspect, but they just have a tendency, and it's to do with like it's like I'm almost getting soul programming here, that you have a tendency to love others in that same way that you love yourself. And Spirit is saying that there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of your hardwiring. Is that when a spiritual guru is telling you no, bring it back to self-love, when you do that, that just gives you the capacity to love others even more deeply too. And Spirit is saying there's nothing wrong with you for doing that, but there is boundaries that you can put in place, and this is one big boundary in a way. Spirit is saying you can limit your love. Maybe this is your gift. I think your gift is almost the double-edged sword. It's you've got the capacity to love so deeply, so greatly, like almost like the world. But then your gift is evolving or has already become something which you could almost say you can distill it into one of these waves, one of these squiggles. And it's for sure overwhelming, that energy. So pile number 3 is you would be the pile of with great power comes great responsibility. Famous Spider-Man line. And possibly it's reminded me a little bit of like the Tesla ball here. You might even want to look into pile number 3's. There might be something here which helps you understand this energy better in terms of understanding like electricity. So yeah, there's definitely something here like Spirit is trying to give some clues to the like the channeling of energy, the filtering of energy, and Spirit is saying like think about that love energy a little bit like electricity. If there's no way of harnessing it, it's just this big energy which no one sees or feels or is able to use, but through the cables, through fuse boxes, through filters and funnels, through generators, through plug sockets and plugs, adapters, you're able to make healthy boundaries and limiters and directors of that energy, if that makes sense. So again, quite a off the avant-garde, use that word again, analogy to relate electricity to the love energy, but Spirit is saying that it will give a good breakdown of how to maybe understand that energy within you a bit better. And it's quite to be honest, I could do that myself and look into that, but it's quite a good one because the topic of love is very broad, and it has been forever, really. No one has ever been really able to kind of pin down that energy because even spirituality has been dissected better than the topic of love, hasn't it? Because it's kind of on this fine line of is it an individual experience or a collective one? Love. It's a complex topic, but it's interesting because spirituality could be viewed in the same way, yet it's been, I'd probably say, researched or even understood a little bit better than the topic of love. Love is kind of always given this love is always thrown in this box of kind of, it's just one of those things, it's there or it's not. Poets probably have probably given the best hit or poets have probably done the best at describing that energy, that word, as far as I can think of, movies. I think poets might get the top gold medal for kind of expressing love in the best way, and I would kind of put into that world of poetry, like songwriting, obviously, and stuff like that too. But yeah, when you think about it, it really isn't something. I know people write about it and stuff, but think about it on a collective level. When you walk down the street and you say, I'm Christian or I'm Muslim or I'm just spiritual, people can have a discussion on these and be on the same page with certain things. But then when one's to say, I'm in love, it's more of a feeling thing that people don't really know on the other side. What that might, they kind of know, but it's like, do you understand? It's quite funny, actually. Thank you for giving me this energy today, pile number 3, is because it's one of those topics where people they dare to tread because of its complexity. But I feel maybe this is part of your gift, pile number 3s as well, is just being able to explain that better, or being able to tread in those places where other people don't have possibly the intelligence, emotional intelligence, empathy, intuition to tread. That might be part of your gift as well, pile 3s, is not only understanding that love energy within yourself, but possibly being able to explain it and express it and share that message. And yeah, spirit is just kind of taking me back to that example I was given, is that love seems to be one of these topics which, like I said, you can, even with spirituality, which is complex, there is some form of categorizing of the subject. Like I said, Muslim religions and belief systems. I feel like in today's age, as far as we've got in terms of healthy labels, although you can argue all labels are to some extent damaging or toxic, I feel like as far as we've got so far is love languages. And, it's not to say that I'm against love languages, but they're very limiting, because they're talking about really like how we like to be loved. But it's not really expressing love, If you ask me, kind of love languages actually express more about like languages. Their love languages are like, I really, really like this thing, but it's not really talking on the topic of love. My love language is the thing that I really, really like. So look, pile number 3 is probably the longest reading out of the 3. I hope you was able to get something from that. I know there was quite a lot of various examples given there, but to kind of just summarize your gift, like I said, it would be to be able to understand your abundance of love, and how to give that, and how it's also related to possibly your anxiety, being able to separate or understand love within yourself and being able to express it to others. So, gosh, it's a complicated one. Let's break that down again. So, your gift is being able to understand your abundance of love, how that love can form anxiety, but then also being able to possibly express love in a way that people haven't done yet. So, pile number 3 is thank you for being here. I hope I've given you something in terms of being able to clear that feeling of overwhelm as well. It's like next time you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, maybe just remind yourself, where am I loving too much? And it's not about just self-love more. It's sometimes about restricting that love, bringing it back in. And like I said, it's not always about bringing it back to self. Sometimes it's just about creating limitations. It's not all about self-pampering. I think today's age is kind of sometimes taking that self-love stuff a bit too, taking it too far. It's like you're trading the fine line of narcissism sometimes, or just selfishness, and it's all about self-love. No, it's like love yourself and know how to put limitations on the love you give to others. Doesn't always have to come back to you. Just have healthy boundaries around yourself. So, part number 3 is thank you for being here. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.